Let me introduce myself. My name is Khofifah. I am from the 3rd semester of CBI. I come from the Bolmong area, and my debate partner is Agista Sugianto. Okay, I will bring my debate material about is good leaders. A good leaders command and control follower. Okay, leaders quite rightly are the heroes of the corporate epic. A few leaders villains notwithstanding. They are needed both to change organization and to produce results. They motivate us to go place that we would never otherwise go. In any business climate, good leadership is perhaps the most important competitive advantage a company can have. It's hardly surprising, therefore, that management scholars focus relentlessly on the attribute of successful leadership. But in our understandable effort to grasp and master the skills of leadership, we tend to lose sight of the fact that there are two parts to the leadership equation. For leaders to lead, they not only exceptional talent, but also the ability to attract followers. Regrettably, however, it's becoming harder to get people to follow, where they are described largely in terms of their leaders' qualities. The problem is that followers get short shrift in the management literature. In that, in 13 years of experience as a psychoanalyst, anthropologist, and management consultant. In other words, their thought of us merely responding to a leader's charisma or caring attitude. What most analysts seem to ignore, though, is that followers have their own identity. I have found that followers are as powerfully driven to follow as leaders are to lead. Followers' motivation fall into two categories: rational and irrational. By following a great leader and our fears that we will miss out if we don't. The rational ones are conscious and therefore well known. More influential, much of the time, are the irrational motivations that lie outside. They have to do with our hopes of gaining money, status, power, or entry into meaningful enterprise. The realm or awareness and the far beyond our ability to control them. Where, in a sense, his followers keep falling in love with him. It is a great tribute to Freud that he realized that his passion. Although most of his patients were women, the same thing happened with his male patient. An emotion in our unconscious that we project into our relationship with leaders. Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, was the first person to provide. For the most part, this motivation arises from the powerful image. Some explanation of how a follower's unconscious motivation work. After practicing psychoanalysis for a number of years, Freud was puzzled to find that his patient idealization of him couldn't be traced to his own personal qualities. Important persons from their past, usually apparent. For that matter, people were transferring experience. an emotion from past relationship into the person. Freud thought the phenomenon was universal. In undergoing therapy or in falling in love. Instead, he concluded people were relating to him as if he were some.
For better leaders, we tend to lose sight of the people these leaders lead. If you have not heard the term followership before, or not thought twice about it, you are not alone. It usually appears as a noteword when documents are spell checked on the computer. It is not a new concept, just one that is often overlooked or forgotten. Why followership is overlooked is an intriguing concept. Without followers, what the be leaders? Without followers, what the be leaders? Without followers, what the be leaders? Who will the lead? Who will become the leaders if they were not first the followers? Leaders and followership is a super burn. Leaders depend on followers and vice versa. Think about it. What is our net? After all, Napoleon was just a man with bold ambitions. Organization and project succeed or fail partly on the basis of how well the leaders, but partly also on how well followers follow. In the words of one renowned project leader, project bosses are not necessarily good leaders. Team members are not necessarily effective followers. In the words of one renowned project leader, project bosses are not necessarily good leaders. Team members are not necessarily effective followers. Many bosses couldn't lead a horse to water. Many subordinates couldn't follow a parade. Some people avoid a fair rule. Others accept the rule, trust upon them, and perform it poorly. Leadership and followership are closely intertwined. Effective followers can shape product leadership behavior, just as effective leaders develop employees into good followers. The leaders, but partly also on how well followers follow. In the words of one renowned project leader, project bosses are not necessarily good leaders. Team members are not necessarily effective followers. Many bosses couldn't lead a horse to water. Many subordinates couldn't follow a parade. Some people avoid a fair rule. Others accept the rule, trust upon them, and perform it poorly. Leadership and followership are closely intertwined. Effective followers can shape product leadership behavior, just as effective leaders develop employees into good followers.